Got a small garden space? Don't worry, you're not limited, you're focused. A tiny yard, narrow side garden, or even a cozy patio can still be overflowing with color, structure, and seasonal magic if you choose the right perennials. In this video, we're giving you 10 of the best perennials for small space gardens. These plants are compact in size, but huge on visual impact. They're easy to grow, low maintenance, and perfect for borders, containers, or anywhere space is tight. Whether you're working with a city courtyard, a strip of soil by your fence, or just a few planters, these perennials will help you design a garden that feels full, not crowded. Let's jump right in. Let's kick things off with a vertical beauty that brings instant structure. Salvia nemorosa. This perennial grows in neat clumps, sending up tall, upright spikes of violet, pink, or deep blue flowers that bloom from late spring into summer, and often again in fall if you trim it back. It's one of the best plants for adding strong vertical lines in a small space without hogging ground room. Salvia thrives in full sun and well-drained soil, and it's drought-tolerant once established. Even better, it's highly attractive to bees and butterflies, but completely ignored by deer. That makes it both beautiful and functional in any space-starved garden. In tight spots, use it to add height in the middle of a layered border, or group 3 together in a pot for dramatic impact. Its tidy shape also makes it perfect for framing entryways or patio edges. Pair it with soft, spilling plants like nepeta or geranium to contrast the upright form. It's a plant that does a lot of visual work with very little space. Looking for bold foliage in a tidy form? Heuchera, or coral bells, is the small space gardener's dream. It forms compact mounds of leaves in shades that range from lime green to deep burgundy, smoky silver, caramel, and even near black. These leaves add stunning texture, color, and contrast, even when nothing else is blooming. Heuchera performs best in part shade, but many varieties handle full sun with adequate moisture. It prefers rich, well-drained soil and benefits from mulching to protect the roots in extreme temperatures. The plant also sends up slender stalks of bell-shaped flowers in late spring, which attract hummingbirds. But the foliage is the real reason it's a garden design staple. In small gardens, Heuchera is a foliage anchor. Plant it near steps, along narrow paths, or use it as the centerpiece in a decorative container. It also combines beautifully with ferns, hostas, or other texture-rich shade plants. And the best part? In many zones, it's semi-evergreen, keeping your borders visually alive even through winter. Soft, relaxed, and lightly fragrant, nepeta, or catmint, is a spreading perennial that's tailor-made for small spaces that need a calming touch. With clouds of lavender blue flowers and silvery foliage, it creates a flowing edge or a gentle cascade over low walls and containers. Nepeta thrives in full sun and tolerates dry, poor soils, making it a resilient choice for areas where little else thrives. It blooms from spring into early summer and will rebloom if cut back, offering long season performance with almost no effort. Use nepeta along the front of borders, edging walkways, or plant it in cots where its habit can drape naturally. It looks especially lovely paired with upright plants like salvia, echinacea, or allium, softening their strong lines with a loose, romantic feel. While cats may be fond of rolling in it, nepeta remains neat and compact in most garden settings, and pollinators love it just as much as people do. Few plants bring sunshine energy to a small space like coreopsis. With its daisy-like blooms in bright yellows, soft pinks, or fiery oranges, it lights up tight borders or narrow garden beds without overwhelming them. Some compact varieties stay under a foot tall, making them ideal for the front of your planting scheme. Coreopsis thrives in full sun and well-drained soil. It tolerates heat, drought, and even less than ideal soil conditions, making it perfect for low-effort gardening. Many varieties bloom for months and only need occasional deadheading to keep looking fresh. In compact gardens, plant coreopsis in rows along pathways or cluster them in groups for a cheerful meadow-style effect. Their fine foliage adds texture without taking up visual space, and their bright colors bring contrast and energy to more neutral tones. It's one of those plant it and forget it perennials that keeps showing up and showing off. A true long bloomer and small space superstar, Geranium Roseanne is beloved for its violet blue flowers and soft mounding shape. From late spring all the way into frost, this perennial puts on a non-stop display of color, all with very little effort required from you. Roseanne does well in full sun to part shade and adapts to most soils, as long as they're well drained. Once established, it's tough, drought-tolerant, and self-cleaning. No deadheading needed. Just trim it back in late fall or early spring and it bounces right back. In a small garden, use Roseanne to fill the front of borders, soften hardscape edges, or tumble over raised beds and planters. It looks amazing planted around stepping stones or used to weave between more vertical companions. The best thing about Roseanne, it plays well with nearly everything and always brings that natural, overflowing look that makes even a tiny space feel lush and vibrant. When space is limited, you want plants that add interest without clutter, and Allium millennium is exactly that. This ornamental onion forms tight clumps of strappy green leaves and produces globe-shaped purple blooms that rise above the foliage in midsummer. The effect? Like little fireworks floating above your garden. It thrives in full sun and well-drained soil and performs best in open areas where air can circulate. It's compact, usually under 15 inches tall, and doesn't sprawl or self-seed aggressively like some other alliums. That makes it perfect for border edges or small decorative beds. In a small garden, plant it as a repeating accent along a narrow path or in a line near a patio. Its upright form helps lift the eye, while the rounded flowers bring contrast to more relaxed or cascading forms like catmint or roseanne. Bonus, it's deer and rabbit resistant, highly attractive to bees and butterflies, and continues looking neat even after flowering. The dried seed heads can be left for added texture or snipped and brought indoors for arrangements. If you love a clean border with pops of color and sweet fragrance, Dianthus is a must. This tiny little perennial offers low-growing mounds of silvery green foliage topped with small but vibrant blooms in shades of pink, red, and white. The flowers are often fringed and clove-scented, adding a nostalgic cottage touch. Dianthus loves full sun and well-drained soil, and it hates sitting in wet feet. Perfect for raised beds, stone borders, or gravel gardens. Most varieties stay under 10 inches tall, making them one of the best options for edging small space gardens. Use Dianthus to frame a front border, plant it in rock gardens, or tuck it into gaps in paving where it can soften the edge with texture and charm. It's also a great in-between plant, filling narrow spaces between more dominant perennials. With regular deadheading, Dianthus will keep blooming throughout the season. And if you're growing it in containers, pair it with upright companions like salvia or small ornamental grasses for contrast in height and form. For shaded corners or part sunspots in your small garden, Tiarella or foamflower is a quiet standout. With its beautifully lobed foliage, often patterned with dark veins, and frothy white or pale pink flower spikes, it brings elegance and texture to low-light spaces. Tiarella loves moist, well-drained soil and thrives in dappled shade. It stays compact and clump-forming, rarely outgrowing its space, and in cooler climates, the foliage can be semi-evergreen, offering interest well into fall and even winter. In small gardens, use Tiarella to brighten shaded paths, place it under trees, or mass a few together in the front of a woodland-style border. Its subtle blooms bring motion and delicacy, while the foliage adds structure and contrast. It pairs beautifully with hostas, heucheras, and ferns, helping you build out lush, layered borders without relying on large, space-hogging plants. Best of all, it's a true low-maintenance choice for those trickier, shady corners. Campanula, or bellflower, adds classic charm to small spaces with its bell-shaped blooms in cool shades of blue, purple, or white. Depending on the variety, it can be upright or low and trailing, making it one of the most versatile perennials for tight gardens. It performs best in full sun to part shade and prefers moderately rich, well-drained soil. Most compact types stay under 12 inches tall, and some, like Campanula postcarspiana, form a low mat that spills gracefully over borders and rocks. In a small garden, Campanula works wonderfully tucked between stones, lining pathways, or even planted in cracks along patios or walls. Its delicate shape brings softness, and its repeat bloomers can flower multiple times a year with a light trim. It's especially nice for cottage garden aesthetics in limited spaces and blends well with other soft-hued plants like dianthus, nepeta, and geranium. Last but definitely not least, dwarf echinacea varieties bring bold color and strong structure to small gardens without the bulk of their larger cousins. These compact cultivars stay around 12 to 18 inches tall, but still offer those signature cone-shaped blooms in vivid pinks, oranges, whites, and even lime green. Like their full-size versions, dwarf echinaceas thrive in full sun and well-drained soil. They're tough, drought-tolerant, and pollinator magnets, especially for butterflies and bees. Plus, their upright form and bold flowers make them a visual anchor in even the smallest garden beds. Use dwarf echinacea as a feature plant in container gardens, or mass a few in a small corner for a high-impact burst of summer color. They pair beautifully with grasses, salvia, and low spreaders like catmint or coreopsis. And just like the bigger varieties, their seed heads look striking in winter, so you can enjoy their sculptural beauty long after the flowers fade. So there you have it, 10 of the best perennials to bring big beauty to small spaces. With the right mix of color, structure, and foliage, even the tiniest garden can feel expansive, layered, and full of life. Whether you're working with a balcony, a side yard, or just one raised bed, these compact performers will help you make the most of every inch and come back better every year. Which ones are you planting this season? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more plant-perfect ideas right here on PlantDo.